Much, Mr. Chairman. I also want to start out by thanking our co-chairman for being willing to undertake this task. Like I suspect everybody on the commission here, I also wonder how the needle turned to me, and I got appointed. But I also agree that serving on this commission is an honor, and I look forward to working with each of you on a task that is critically important to the American people. As we've heard from our witnesses today, we are on an unsustainable course. Several of them said it's just a matter of arithmetic. And frankly, the American people have this figured out and have had it figured out for a long time. And that is, the math just doesn't equate. We are spending far more than we are bringing in revenue. We are mounting unsustainable debt and deficits that will cause the same kind of impacts that we've heard now from many of us and from our witnesses. To just look at it again very briefly, I mean, it was just eerie how consistent the advice of our witnesses here today was, that if we don't get a handle on this, we're going to see interest rates go up, foreign borrowing go up, higher taxes, disincentives to save and invest. Our policy options will be fewer the longer we take as a nation to deal with this issue. We will crowd out capital and result in a collapse of the dollar and the economic loss of investment and productivity and the economic slump that will follow that. There's many other ways you could describe it, but again, the American people understand it. And they want us to get past the politics to the solutions and do what is necessary to put before Congress and the administration the recommendations that can give us a path forward. It's going to be tough. And I agree with the comments of a number of those of us here already today, that we have got to be open-minded, bipartisan, and fair, and look at every option that is necessary to help us get there. That being said, I'm one of those who believes that we must recognize that that our country is spending far in excess of our capacity, and that a significant portion of the solution will be found on the spending side of the ledger. I'm also strongly willing to reform our tax code. I know there are going to be a lot of differences of opinion here. I've been fighting for reform of the Internal Revenue Code for my entire career in Congress, and will continue to do so. I hope that we are going to be able to get to some of the solutions on the tax side that will not result in increased tax burdens on the American people, but will result in our ability to have a fairer, more effective, and frankly simpler tax code. Again, our witnesses today told us could be very helpful to our economy. And I like the idea of looking under every rock, as I think Javier mentioned. And I like the ideas that Senator Baucus mentioned. We should start looking at some of the areas we know, like the tax gap and the spending gap and the productivity gap. We've got to look at everything. And I also believe that we must not fall to the notion that some have put out that it will be hard for this commission to do much of significance, and that we can maybe pluck a little bit of the low-hanging fruit and then hope that we can call it success. I think we need to have a much larger and a much more powerful vision than that. And I believe we can achieve it, because the American people need it and expect it of us, and we have a unique opportunity to really do something that makes a huge difference for this country.
Thank you very much. I want to thank